Well, I had Mob James on my show recently.
Yeah, so I was checking that out too.
And I believe it's the clip that's going up today, which you probably haven't seen yet. Mm-hmm. But I address the whole thing of you going to his show, the Gangster Chronicles. Mm-hmm. And from what they said, you acted very respectfully towards them. They acted very respectfully towards you. Mm-hmm. But then a certain time later, you turn around and start dissing them. But from what I understand, he was very respectful and
shaking hands the whole night.
Shaking hands.
You know, that dude, you know, and I thought he was real cool. But, you know, we was going to use him as a third wheel with Reggie. We was going to use either him or Spider Loc. When the boss decided not to just throw somebody in the seat, I don't know if he got wind or whatever, he goes on his show and oh, this rat motherfucker and this Reggie a rat, and wait a minute, this dude was just bam. So I felt we need to holler at this cat, and then he get to talking about my brother. You know what I'm saying?
What do you say about your brother?
He said that I spoke on Buntry, telling what Death Row doing, and wait a minute. For number one, this is my brother. You don't know nothing about my family. If you got a problem with me, keep my family out of it, for number one. And if you feel as a man that you have a problem, you should have addressed it when you came. Don't be cool with me and shake my hand and then go back and think I'm supposed to bite into this little bullshit you're talking about. If you feel like that, handle your business. You know what I'm saying? That's why I separate myself from these clowns. I ain't got time for that shit.
I wasn't even dissing them. I was just telling the truth. Like, I just got to watch. Honestly, I was just watching the show. Like, when I met them and I went to their show, for that, matter of fact, I was with this dude right here. When I went, first of all, I was supposed to be going. I didn't even go to do their show. I went up there. I was supposed to be having a meeting discussing me getting my own show. Okay. Like, that Gangster Chronicles is really supposed to be me. Like, that was what we was like discussing for myself. But I ended up running into them, and he told me like, oh yeah, these dudes in here will do our bam. And I'm like, I knew about who they was, but I kind of like didn't want to do it. But I'm more like, you know, I'm not a disrespectful person. Like, it don't matter how I feel. Like, respect is a given. Like, no matter what I feel. So I'm not gonna disrespect you. And then even now, I'm not out here disrespecting y'all. Only thing I really said is, basically, it's like, you guys are sitting here talking this Gangster Chronicles, but we kind of got, this nigga's a police though. Like, he's a police officer. We got an ex-police officer sitting here talking about who's a snitch and who that. But it's
okay,
like,
well, let's address that first part. Because I've had Reggie Wright Jr. on my show a couple times. He's in prison right now.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
See how I feel?
He was head of security for Death Row. And I listen to the show on a regular basis. I don't feel that Reggie Wright tries to come off as just because it's called the Gangster Chronicles does not mean that every person on the show is a gangster. In fact, Alex Alonso is not a gangster at all.
No.
He's just someone that studies it.
Right.
So it's not like you could say it's called the Gangster Chronicles and you don't have three gangsters. Because Alex Alonso nor Reggie Wright is actually claiming to be gangsters at all. It's just they're talking about gangster type things.
But it's like you talking this gangster type things from the perspective of like that you were a real solid individual. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I think Reggie knows he's a cop and he talks about being a cop. But there's no hiding that he used to be a cop.
It was just
his dad is a cop.
It was kind of contradictory. It was just he started like I said, it wasn't even nothing personal. Like, I'm not holding no grudge. Like, I said what I said, and it was just like, I just said, like, I don't want to hear all this, he's a snitch. When, nigga, you snitch every time you lock somebody up. Every time you filled out a police report, you were snitching on somebody. So, like, you're not the guy that I want to hear this out of. Like, you know what I mean?
All right.
That's all I was saying.
Well, then there's Mob James, who is a gangster. Or at least he was a gangster.
He was.
He's now retired. He's 7 years old, something like that. Mob James put in his work. Mob James was not sitting by the sidelines watching things happen. Mob James put in his work. He's a regular guest on my show. In fact, our second biggest interview last year was with Mob James, his first interview with us. I personally like the guy. He felt very offended over the things that you said.
I don't even remember what I said about Mob James. It wasn't even really about Mob James. It was more.
I think you tried to call him a rat or something like that, and he's like, there's no paperwork around this.
I mean, it's like dry snitch. He wasn't a rat. I think I said he dry snitch or something like that.
Did you have paperwork behind it?
It's not no paperwork. It's dry snitching. Snitching and calling him, that's an informant. Like, you need paper. If I say, oh, this nigga's an informant. Dry snitching is kind of like, dry snitching is something that when you call it dry snitch, it's just like, it's like you giving up info, but it's like telling, like unofficial telling. It's like you telling the story, but you're not going to the police with it. But the police can take this information and try to build a case with it. Like,
I mean, I'm not familiar with anyone he's dry snitching on. Who did you claim that he dry snitched on?
It wasn't a certain person. It was just why I can't even remember what it was, like what the exact situation was, but I was like, I remember watching it, I was like, that's some dry snitch shit, like that's dry snitching. And I don't even remember what it was. Like, that's what I'm saying, it was so long ago, that was old shit.
Yeah,
like that.
well, I mean, he definitely got offended by it.
Yeah.
Me and him spoke about it. I'm not gonna play it for you, but you could watch it when it comes out.
Yeah.
He felt, I mean, especially since, regardless of the situation or what happened, you were on their show, he treated you very respectfully. It ain't like he talked a bunch of shit and you're responding. He always acted very nicely towards you.
I wasn't disrespecting him.
Calling someone a dry snitch is disrespecting.
I'm just saying that is dry. I wasn't just saying like you a dry snitch. I wasn't saying it like that.
It's kind of the same thing though, isn't it?
I mean, it is. It's kind of.
If someone say that you're dry snitching, would you be like, hey, that's great?
I mean, I'm saying
I like that guy.
You can be upset about it. I mean, if you feel real offended, but I just felt like a lot of the stuff you was talking shouldn't be talked about. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like dry snitching in a way. But I mean, that's water under the bridge. I don't want him to feel like I'm his enemy or like I'm attacking him or like, you know what I mean? It's not no ill feelings. Like, I just felt whatever it was that he was being said at the time. And I was watching it, I just felt like he was dry snitch, like it was some dry snitch shit. I don't even remember what it was. Like, that's all, like, you know what I mean?
Well, you have a platform to say what you really want to say here. He's going to be listening to this.
Yeah, sure.
Did you want to squash it? Did you want to apologize?
It's nothing to squash.
It's really up to you.
Like, if he feeling some type of way, like, I don't want him to feel like I'm holding, like, I don't have no issues with him. It's not no beef. Like, yeah, I mean, if you want an apology, I apologize if you, like, I can't even really say I apologize because I don't remember the exact situation and what happened for why I said that, but I just remember whatever it was that I was watching at the time, I just felt like being a street nigga, being a gangster, it was some dry snitch shit, but I mean, it was water under the bridge for me. Like, I don't want you to feel like, I don't want him to feel like he got an enemy in me or like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever I said, you know what I mean?
I mean,
I apologize, fuck it.
You apologize?
I'm a grown ass man.
All right, there you go. I'm not forcing you to say this.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Because it's so nothing, I don't even want it to people to think it's a thing.
Well, like, I think that's a big thing. Because at the end of the day, I think it diffuses certain emotions and feelings over a particular statement. Yeah. If a person apologizes, you can't be as mad at them. If they're like, yeah, fuck you, and I'm gonna say it again, that's a whole different situation. We're too old for this shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
we're too old for
this.
Like,
you see how, like, I wasn't, you just threw me for a surprise by even bringing that up. I done forgot all about that shit and moved on, but it's like,